Hello, hello. Good morning. Well, depending on where you are, good morning. Hi, Edward. Nice to see you. I hope everyone can hear me. But happy Sunday. And my hair looks wild still because I have not washed my hair yet. I have to do it today. I have been slacking. I just don't want to do it, but I have to tonight. Edward, let me know if you can hear me okay. Yeah, let me do this. I'm on my phone, but I'm going to bring it over to my computer. Okay. So I'm a little delayed because this morning I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't do that trivia. I got to create it. So I had to create it this morning. Let me see if I can come in here and have like a side by side view. I don't know if I can do that or not. Let's see. Oh, audio is good. Okay, perfect. Cool. Let's see. Gotta enter. Okay. I don't know if I can. Okay, let me see if I can do it this way. Hey, Barry. It's okay, Barry. I was running late to my own to my own live because I was like, I gotta set this thing up and get myself a little bit together this morning. Let me see here. I think I can do it this way. Let me see. No, that's not gonna work. I may have to pull it up from my computer. Guys, I'm trying to basically show from my phone and in PowerPoint, but we're gonna see. So give me just a minute and we'll get started. All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it the regular way, unless I can figure this out really quickly. Oh, I think I can do it this way. And then let's see if that works. And then do this. Okay, cool. You can't see my face, but this works. Um, all right, guys. So, Trivia Sundays with Jess, round two of the business terms this time. So, this round, I am going to be basically doing a recap of before. And hey, this is Latanya. Nice to see you. And I see Barry and everybody saying hello. Okay, so round two business terms. A few, I think I left in two that are actually like you've seen them before. So I'm hoping everyone gets these trivia answers. And then I will be doing like a very small prize. It's not my 1K prize, but I do want to just have a winner this time for the trivia game. So I will be keeping track of the points. So you get 1 point for each answer, and then whoever it is that I see on my end, that'll be the one that gets the point. But of course, it's all in good fun. So you know, I definitely, I definitely don't want anyone to, feel. So I've been talking and my mic has been muted. So what I was saying is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it this way, but let's see. So my mic was muted. Sorry, guys, but I am going to be giving points to the first person I see with the right answer for this trivia. And hi, Edward. Hi, Latanya, and hi, Barry. All right, so I'm going to get started with the first question here. And again, these are all business related terms. So it's scenarios that will actually happen in an office environment. So my hope is for anyone that is looking to learn office terms, it's going to be a cool way to learn some of these acronyms that you will hear in the office. So the first one is scenario. So someone in your office is asking you for an SOP for the tool you just created. What do they actually want you to provide? All right, so what is it they're talking about? Someone comes to you and they're like, okay, you created this new tool. I need an SOP for this. So is it A, steps on processing, B, special operating process, or C, standard operating process, or D, standard operating procedure? And I do see some responses coming through. I see Edward coming in with D and Barry right behind coming in with D as well. So no one thinks anything different. I don't know. Let's see what it is. D, a standard operating procedure. And this is a step-by-step set of instructions. So this is pretty common. I mean, I don't know why people don't just say, can you just send me the instructions for this? But in the office, you'll hear, give me the SOP. So if you're watching a replay, that's what that means. All right, good job, Edward. So 1 point for you. And let me make sure I'm tracking this. I don't know if you guys can see me. I think you guys can only see my screen. Let me know. I need to grab something because I didn't have my pen ready to keep track of the points. Okay, I am back. So Ever got that round. So you get 1 point. The next scenario is let's just say you are in a meeting with a client and they requested the SLA. What is the SLA? Is it A, a service level agreement, B, a seller line agreement, C, a service list available, or D, a signed list agreement? So you're in a meeting with a client, they request the SLA from you. What is that? A service level agreement, a seller line agreement, a service list available, or D, a signed list agreement? Let's see what folks think. I see Edward Smart coming in with C. So Edward says it is a service list available. All right. Any other thoughts here? All right, so we're gonna go with Edward saying C. Let's see what it is. So I don't see any, well, I'll give it a minute to see if anyone else has any ideas. Okay, I see Barry. I know there's a little delay, so I'll give it a second here. So Edward Smart says C. Barry Johnson says A. And I don't want to give it too long just because I know some people might be Googling. And hi, hello, welcome in. So I'll give you a second then we're doing a trivia on business terms. I'm doing well. I hope you are as well. Hello. I'll give you maybe 10 seconds to answer this question. Let's say you're in a meeting with a client and they request an SLA from you. What is it? Service level agreement A, B, seller line agreement, C, service list available, or D, a signed list agreement? I'm going to count down in my head. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I think time's up. All right, so let's see what the answer is. The answer is A. A service level agreement. So this is basically just a contract. So it's like a commitment that you're providing to your client. So you'll see this a lot in any service scenario, but we also see this on the business side. Myself as a recruiter, I will have a service level agreement with my client, which is my hiring manager. So I even have it in my own day to day. We use the term a lot. So let me see who got that one. I think that was Barry Johnson. So Edward and Barry are 1-1 right now. All right, so the next question here is, you just joined a sales meeting. You have to present on the ROI of a new product. What are you sharing? Is it A, results of investment, B, result of income, C, return on investment, or D, return of income? So you just joined a sales meeting. You have to present on the ROI of a new product. What are you sharing? Is it A, results of investment, B, results of income, C, return on investment, or D, return of income? I like that D answer because I'd love to just have someone tell me about how they're returning my income. All right, let's see here. Barry Johnson is saying C. That's the first answer I see on my end. And then I see Camelo coming in with C as well, and Edward coming in with C. No one? I don't think anyone took my bait. All right, let's see what the answer is. The answer is C. Everyone got that one. Great job. I was hoping that I would catch someone off guard with A, results of investment, but no one fell for that. Good job. And I see on my end, Barry came in at that one. So I have Barry with 2 points and Edward with 1. So let's see. Anyone can get on the board here. There are other questions coming up. All right, so this is another scenario. A client wants to determine whether to select your services over another company's. You're working on the RFP. Tell the new intern what that means. They're really confused. Is an RFP A, a representative first proposal? Is it B, request for proposal, C, request for people, or D, retire for peace? And you might remember this one if you were one of my last trivias, or my very first trivia actually. A client wants to determine whether to select your services over another company's. You're working on the RFP. Tell the new intern what that means. Is it A, representative first proposal, B, request for proposal, C, request for people, or D, retire for peace? I see, looks like Barry came in with C, Edward came in with B. Barry hit the wrong button. LOL. I understand how that is. Trust me, I sure do. All right, so it's between, it looks like C or B. And I think Barry is changing his response maybe. But I did see Edward Smart come in with B, request for proposal. So I guess we'll see what the answer is. B, request for proposal. So what a request for proposal is just a document that is showing what are the details about a particular project. You know, there's listing different bids from contractors who will complete the project. So this company is trying to look at different companies, what they're offering for this project, and then they will choose their best option. Great job. And this is one of those terms that I did not know when I first entered the workforce. All right, so you have an interview. You know you fed up with this company. You said you've had it, you're sick of them, they're throwing around all these silly acronyms, and you're just over it. You're looking for something else. You're going to move into marketing. You're done with sales. So you have an interview requiring skills in B2B marketing. What do you need to add to your resume to showcase that you have this experience? Basically, what does this B2B word mean? What are you going to put on your resume? Are you going to add A, business to business, B, buyer to business, C, buyer to buyer, or D, business to buyer? What does B2B marketing mean? A, business to business. B, buyer to business. C, buyer to buyer. Or D, business to buyer. What do we think? Okay, I'm seeing, let me see here. It looks like Barry was saying C, but I don't know if that was from the other answer. I see Edward and Barry saying A. All right, you guys are both correct. Business to business. It looked like Edward came in, so you guys are 2-2 now. Business to business. So it's just business making transactions with another business directly. So great job. Both of you got that one right. Now, we have another scenario. You have an interview with a different company. Now, they're requiring skills in B2C marketing. So now what do you need to add to your resume? Is it A, business to customer, buyer to customer, business to consumer, or business to client? What are these keywords that you're going to add to your resume? Business to customer, A, buyer to consumer, B, C, business to consumer, or D, business to client. And it looks like, let me pull up YouTube so I can see these a little quicker. Uh-oh, I think I'm getting people. All right, let's see. I see Barry. It looks like you came in with A, business to customer. Barry then came in and said business to consumer, C, and then Edward came in with buyer to consumer. And Camelo said, hi, Jessica. Hello, Camelo. Do you have a response? Do you know this term? What is B2C marketing? All right, let's see. Let's see what the answer is. C, business to consumer. So you're basically referring to different strategies the company will use to promote the products right to the consumer. Why is it not called business to customer? I don't know. I think consumer just means more like even potential customers. Because when you're a customer, you're actually actively purchasing or engaging with the product. But I don't know why like they call it consumer versus customer. It basically means the same thing in my eyes. The business is directly interacting with the consumer. And then of course, D was just there to throw you off, business to client, and no one fell for it. Womp womp. All right, so you have landed a new job. You got the job. Yes. All right. All that work came in handy. You updated your resume. You got this new job. Now you have a meeting with your manager to discuss KPIs. What are you guys going to be talking about? What are KPIs? What are the KPIs? A, key performance index. B, key product indicators. C, key performance indicators. Or D, knowledge performance indicators. A, key performance index. B, key product indicators. C, key performance indicators. Or D, knowledge performance indicators. It looks like both Barry and Edward are coming in with C. All right. Well, let's see what it is. Key performance indicators. You guys are both completely right. Key performance indicators, it is a performance a measurement. So it's just how you're evaluating the success of a company. Now I added or a person because, you know, if you're talking with a manager or HR, they may talk about KPIs, and sometimes they'll refer to the person's actual success in their job. So good job. All right. So, when you get a new job, you got to meet with everybody, right? So you got to do the orientations, you got to meet with people, you got to do all that good stuff. So during an orientation, you meet with the COO. Who is the COO? Who in the world is this that you're going to be meeting with? What does it stand for? What is his job? What does he do? A, is it the chief operating official? B, is it the chief online officer? C, is the chief operating officer? Or D, is it the chief of operations? All right, so I'm going to say these again. COO. And this is just more of a play on words, guys. I threw in a couple to throw you off. Is the chief operating official, is it B, chief online officer? Is it C, chief operating officer? Or D, chief of operations? And it looks like Edward came in with C, chief operating officer. And Barry came in with C right after. And I know I have a delay, but it is C. So it's also called a chief operations officer as well. It is one of the highest ranking executive positions in the organization, basically the C-suite. The COO is normally the second in command at the firm. So they're right behind the CEO. So normally CEO, COO, and then all the others. Great job. So, Edward, I think we're at 3-2. Correct me if I'm wrong. 3-2 here. All right, so this next one, and I'm going to leave this up just so I have a marker for timestamp. So your next meeting is with the CMO. You have no clue what that stands for. What did Google tell you it means? Is it A, manufacturing officer? B, chief marketing officer? C, chief management officer? Or D, chief markets officer? So, CMO, you have no clue what it means. What does Google tell you it means? A, chief manufacturing officer. B, chief marketing officer. C, chief management officer. Or D, is it chief markets officer? And Camelo again, hello, I see you. You're not answering any questions, so Camelo, so I don't know. Barry is saying D, Chief Markets Officer. Barry is coming in again with B, Chief Marketing Officer. Then Edward comes in with C, Chief Management Officer. All this tells me if I did a good job on this one, throwing you off. So I'm happy about that. That was my goal, to throw you off with this one. So what does it mean? So we have Barry first coming in with D. Did you change the answer to B? And then Edward saying C, Chief Management Officer. All of these really sound legit to me. They could totally be, legit for CMO. But it's actually a Chief Marketing Officer. It's basically someone that's managing the marketing operations, and they're just sitting in that C-suite. Not all companies necessarily have a CMO title. It just depends on, I think, how large the company is. But they will always have like a marketing lead or marketing director or something. So good job with that. Yes, Barry, you did change it to B. I think you did come in right for Edward, so you got a point. So I believe we're 3-3. And guys, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys can keep track of your own points too. But I am trying to track them as I go along. Let's see. So I'm going to note here. We have Edward. Let me open up my notes on my iPad because I don't want to run away again. All right, so we have Edward with 3 and Barry with 3. All right, let's move on to the next question. All right, so we got more meetings coming up. You have yet another meeting. This time it's the lead of R&D. I might have gave it away to you guys, I think, if you're paying attention. You've heard the term, but have to ask him what in the world he does. What does he say? So, is it A, regions and developments? Is it B, regional development? Is it C, results and direction? Or is it D, research and development? Is it A, regions and developments? B, regional development? C, results and direction? Or D, research and development? Let's see what you guys think. Looks like Edward is saying D and Barry Johnson says D. You both said D at the same time. But Edward came in first on StreamYard. So let's see. Research and development. And yes, I totally gave it away. I gave it away. If you heard me, I was like, this time it's the lead of Reese. I tried to cover it up. But I think you both probably do it anyway. This is a pretty common term, but some people don't know what it stands for. So, research and development. It is a set of innovative activities, and there's someone that leads this group. Normally, they're looking for new products, services, how to enhance the products we have, and all of that. So, that's what that one means. And I think this one might be my last trivia question. You're 6 months into working at the new company, and they have announced they are going to IPO. What are they doing? Is this a good or bad thing? Okay, now with this question, guys, I'm looking for just your thinking around this. I just want to know if you think it's a good thing or you think it's a bad thing along with the answer. So you'll see that there's two different answers and there's two options for you to select good or bad. So is an IPO an initial product offering and it's a good thing? B, initial product offering, it's a bad thing. Or C, it's an individual person offload and it's a good thing. Or D, it's an individual person offload and it's a bad thing. So, what do we think about that one? All right, I'm seeing Barry come in with A, initial product offering. He thinks it's a good thing. And B, initial product offering, and it is a bad thing from Edward Smart. And T. Jones says it is an individual person offload, and it is a bad thing. Edward Smart changes to A. Well, I wonder why you're saying that, Edward. I want to know. So what do we think here? I really just want to know what your thinking is around this. Both of these are the right answer. So, Edward and Barry, you both have an additional point. So you have 4. Barry has 4. T, it wasn't an individual person offload that was just thrown in there by me to throw somebody off. I thought it sounded good and believable, so I put it in there. So what an initial product offering is just basically a company is a private company, and then they say, hey, we want to become public. We want to offer shares of our companies that people can buy, whether it's investors, retail investors, like individual people. That's what that is. So is it a good thing or bad thing? I am going to see if I can change up my thing here. I don't know if I can. Layout. Oh, okay, there we go. I didn't know I could do that the whole time. All right, so with this one, so if you've been working at a new company and you notice, okay, 6 months in, they're moving from a private to a public company, there are a lot of changes that can come from that. But in general, for me, I think it can be a good thing, but it does come with a lot of changes with the company, even down to like benefits the company may have been offering, or their structure within the company, all of that could potentially change. So I definitely think it is a little bit of both. It can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing as well. I see T. Jones says, got it. It did. It threw you off. Okay, awesome. So these were all just questions I wanted to kind of pose to share these terms, make sure folks understand them. T, you came in a little later on, so Edward and Barry were basically kind of competing against each other here with the trivia. But some of the words that we offered were like RFP and marketing terms like B to B2B and B2C, like different terms that you may see in a different environment. Edward says, depends on the market circumstances. Okay, I want to hear more about that, Edward, because yeah, I agree. I think it just depends. Like some companies can really take off once they begin, they actually IPO, they get more investors, they can grow from that, of course. But then you see some companies that may take a little longer for them to see the growth and traction. And then there are also companies that are just bad companies. like they IPO and then it gets even worse. Like the bad practices that were happening, they kind of continue to get worse. Like I want to say WeWork was one of those companies where it came out that the founder and leader was like this terrible leader and maybe was doing some corrupt things as well. So it's pretty interesting. But overall, you guys did a great job at this. I got to think of a prize for you. So I'm thinking I got to do a tiebreaker actually. So let me try this. Let me do something. I'm going to hide that screen for a second because I've got to think of a tiebreaker for you guys. I think my tiebreaker is going to be a question about me. So if you watch my lives a lot, and I know Edward, you've been watching for quite a while, you'll know that there is a particular location that I absolutely have loved in all of my travels. It is my favorite place to travel. So whoever can answer that question, that will be the tiebreaker. You will need to name the city and the country. My favorite travel destination. So let's see who can actually think of that. You can totally guess, but that will be the tiebreaker. And T. Jones, Latanya, I think Camelo might be still in here. Feel free to, jump in there too if you think you know the answer. And then I will give it to whoever I see first. But yes, my favorite city. Okay, Edward, you're warm. You got to name that city too. Edward got it. Florence, Italy. So Edward is the winner. So Edward, I'm just gonna send you a Cash App. It's something very small, but just a thank you for contributing. So if you can put either in the chat or just comment on this video what your Cash App is, I will send you something for winning the trivia. And just to cover, let's see here. Just to kind of walk through what we talked about for T. So we walked through all kinds of terms. So we walked through what an SOP is. We learned that was a standard operating procedure, just a step-by-step guide for if you create a new tool or process to do something. We talked about an SLA. So T, I don't know if you know what this term is, but it is a service level agreement, basically an agreement between a service provider and their client. And then we talked about ROI, which is just return on investment. RFP, which is, and if you want to guess, let me know. But otherwise, I'll just walk through. Let me pause for a second. I actually had snacks. I had chips. I know I'm being bad, but I had chips. So that was a request for proposal. And sorry, I should have looked at YouTube too to see. And then we talked about B2B. I couldn't trip up Edward or Barry with these questions either, guys. They were on it. They were like, we know this. So I'm going to have to make these a lot more challenging for next time for Edward and Barry. But that's just business to business making transactions directly to another business. B2C marketing is just businesses transacting directly with consumers, like basically just taking out the middleman, I guess, kind of like Amazon does. So business to consumer. KPIs are key performance indicators, and then a COO. We talked about that as being part of the C-suite, and it is a chief operating officer. I tried to throw some folks off. I tried to throw off who joined the full stream was Edward and Barry. I tried to throw them off with this one, but they did not take my bait. They did not take my bait. So they chose correctly. Chief Operating Officer, I believe both of them did. And so it's just someone that handles the operations overall. They are second behind the CEO. So that was the key point there. Because I don't know if people really, I mean, I know I did. When I first heard COO, I was like, okay, what in the world do they do? Like, really, what do you do? Because sometimes when you look at C-suite, you're like, okay, you have this great title. What do you actually do in real life? But that's what they do. They just handle general operations of the company. And then we had CMO. I tried to throw some folks off with this one too, and it didn't work. Oh, Everett doesn't have CashApp. Okay, well, I'll have to think of something else for you. Since you're a content creator, I could think of doing something else for you then. Let me see here. So, or you can always get CashApp. I have a link below in this video. You can use that link to create a CashApp as well, and then you can get your prize. So your next meeting with the CMO, we talked about this scenario. What does it mean? Chief Marketing Officer is who you'd be meeting with. So this is the person that handles overall marketing operations for a company. And then R&D, we talked about that. Both Edward and Barry came in before I feel like I even said the full statement here, and they were like, research and development. Easy. So that one is just more about innovation, someone that can bring out new products and things like that. Oh, Edward Smart says he'll take a shout out. Okay, deal. Got you. Works for me. And then the last one, and these were all scenario based. So we said you're 6 months into working in a new company. They've announced they're going to an IPO. What are they doing? And then is this a good or bad thing? So this is really where I wanted to kind of talk about, if a company is making these type of really huge changes, is it a good thing or a bad thing? It just depends on, I guess, the company and really the direction they're looking to go into and what this means for you as, someone that works there. Like, are they making organizational changing as a part of this? That could be something that affects you. And so we came in, Edward and Barry had different views on this, but both were correct. IPO is an initial product offering. So recently, I think I saw, who was it? Well, I think the big one was Tesla. And they're becoming public. Or no, they were added to S&P 500, so I can't use them. I will use Airbnb. They had an IPO. They became a public company this year. So we talked about that for a bit, but I am done with the trivia. That is the video. And I actually do need to do my hair today, guys. I have to wash my hair and go through this whole process of the hair today. So this is not going to be an hour-long video. Well, it's not going to be a 2-hour video. I think I'll probably stay on here for a couple minutes. But it's to that point. I can't keep rocking this look. It's just not gonna work. I need to watch it. So it's like that dreaded moment. Um, to be honest, I don't get on. I don't have a ton of meetings. Normally, a lot of my conversations are over Microsoft Teams or over the phone. So I could probably like put my hair in a ponytail or something and get away with this look for a few days, but I just can't. It's like to that point where it's just like annoying and it's like, oh, like last night I was just like, I could do my hair, but I also just want to sit here and watch TV. I want to. Because it is a process. And I was kind of kicking myself too. I was just like, why didn't I just make the appointment for the salon? But I'm always very picky on who does my hair and then also the timing of like when I get my hair done. I like to do it in the mornings because there aren't as many people coming in and out. And those are the times that get booked up. Like the place I go to, the booking is so quick. I'm just like, oh. Just like no, and so I normally don't think about it until I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't set my appointment. Or I'm like thinking like, oh, I'll just do it myself, and it totally makes sense in my head because I'm like, yeah, I'll save my money, whatever. It's like $100 to get a blowout. Um, but yeah, it's like, oh, I'll save my money, and then it comes to the day, and it's like, I should have just paid that $100. And got this blowout. What else you would do. But anyway, I'm just chit chatting because it's Sunday and it's chill. I even have my shirt today. Focus, let's focus, because it was trivia, but I don't know. You guys can't see that, but anyway, I gotta get myself together. I bought some books. I bought some notebooks, colored, and a new planner for the year. I haven't bought that stuff yet. So I had ordered them and I just got them yesterday. So I'm going to be planning out my year. So I'm super excited about that. But yeah, otherwise, I'm going to be doing that today. I have this book that I'm reading. And I've been watching The Cosby Show because it just, I didn't know it was on there already, but I saw it on Amazon Prime. I had seen it a while back and then I didn't see it again. And then they like just maybe advertised it to me or brought it up. And so I'm gonna watch this. So I was watching that yesterday. Ariel says she's giving a heart to Edward. I always learn something with the business review. Well, Edward, because I feel like you got all of those questions right, or a lot of them right between you and Barry. Barry was like in here. I mean, I'm sure he was going to win. I was like, well, I mean, Barry and Edward are just coming in here like bam, bam, bam. So it went pretty fast because there weren't people all that were actually contributing. I saw Camelo in here, which I think is a new subscriber to me, and he was just in here saying, I got to think of something that's going to be really challenging for you guys next time. So that way I'll trip up Edward and Barry, and then everyone has a chance. But you guys are good. You guys know your business terms. I was impressed. Because that's what it's all about with this tribute. I want it to be reflective of my content and the business, the workplace content. So I think it's laugh and we're interesting. I think I'll pose the next trivia questions the same way of like, hey, this is the scenario and what is this? And I just don't know exactly how I want to pose it. I think the best idea would be to ask scenario interviews. So if I have, here's the interview question, what would be the best response? Or here's the scenario, what do you do? Like, what's the best response? I don't want it to seem like it's a real quiz, but I want it to be easy enough for people to know it and be things that I've covered on my channel. So do you know these things and are you using these are using these things in real life. So Johnson says your audio just got weird on my end. Oh no. Oh. Okay. Or am I buffering? Yeah, I don't know. I do know my limit on StreamYard is coming up, so I'm gonna have to get a package. Oh, Edward says I'm garbled. I guess I could try. I just tried muting myself. Okay. Okay, I guess StreamYard or YouTube are telling me that my time is up and that I need to. That's what I'm taking away. T. Jones says it's for her as well. Okay, gotcha. Yep, it's not the StreamYard issue that comes from time to time. Oh, okay, Barry. Stream all the times. I haven't had a lot of buffering, and actually, I see. I just saw it just now. I was like frozen for a second on the StreamYard view too. Wow. Okay. Well, I will close out the video. But thank you all for joining the trivia. Let me know before I go though. What I was saying is I'm thinking of where you'll have a scenario maybe based on things I talk about on my live streams, like for example the situation or what should you do. Do you guys think that is a good idea? Would you like that type of trivia, or do you want me to continue with the same? Okay, I think everyone's saying the same thing. Let me put this in the chat then, since you can't hear me, because they're tripping. So I'm putting this question in the chat. Oh, okay. If you change, I'm cool with that too. Okay, so Barry's gonna wrap with me either way. Lovely. And all kinds of spelling errors in there, but I was trying to do it really fast. Based on topics on my channel, yay or nay? Or do you want me to keep the same? Or Barry? Okay, okay. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining. I will go ahead and get off here. Appreciate you, and then I'll do the same thing on Sunday. We'll have a trivia. I don't know what time just yet, but probably morning or early afternoon. And thanks again, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.